In this episode, we're talking about anchoring structural pieces to the body of the van, both the walls and the ceilings.
Hello and welcome to Van of Action, where we're taking a 2018 Dodge Promaster van and turning it into a family camper to explore North America. In this episode, we're talking about jack nuts. Boy, after 40 years experience with the tools, these things are driving me crazy. Come on along for the ride and don't do the same thing that I did.
And this is, I think, one of the most important parts of the construction process. Whatever we attach here, whether it's cabinets or wall panels or ceiling panels, has to stay here. We can't be driving down the highway at 100 kilometers an hour and, God forbid, be in an accident and have everything that's back here end up in the passenger seat and the driver's seat. That would just be horrendous. So whatever we attach here has to stay here, and that's a bit of a challenge because this is made of metal. But it's not a heavy metal, it's a light metal. We have to find a way to attach to it. Some people I see online using self-tapping metal screws, which would give you a good bite initially. I wouldn't trust them over the long haul. Your van's going to vibrate. Whatever you're attaching may expand and contract, and there's not a lot of thread bite there. It's very narrow. I wouldn't use self-tapping screws. These are often what they call blind attachments because you can't reach behind. You can't just drill a hole and put a bolt in and put a nut on the back side and tighten it up because you just can't reach the nut on the back. It's not possible. I found three methods of doing this. There's riv nuts, jack nuts, and plus nuts, and they're all similar but different. A riv nut is like a rivet and a nut combined. You can see it here. And you drill a hole, you put the whole assembly through the hole, and then with a special tool you attach to the nut and then pull that nut towards the back of the metal panel. And in doing that, the back end expands and it pinches against the back. You can get a good deal, you can get a good connection with that, but it's critical that the hole be exactly the right size because the shoulders are smaller. Plus nuts and jack nuts have a larger shoulder and make it a little bit easier to get a good mechanical connection. Again, I didn't want to buy anything off of Amazon, so I went to my local automotive supplier and told them what I was trying to do, and they could supply for me some jack nuts. This is a jack nut. They use them for attaching mirrors or reattaching mirrors to car doors and truck doors. Now, this nut locally purchased is about 3 times what it would cost to buy from Amazon. But I spoke to the guy and I said, look, I'd like to buy it locally if I could. I'd like to support you and your family, but I can't pay 3 times the amount. And so he did some math and he gave me a really big, healthy discount that made him happy and made me happy. And I didn't have to buy that special tool for the riv nut, so really I'm money ahead anyway. Worked out really well. Now you'll see the jack nut has a nice big shoulder on the outside, and on the inside is the 1/4-20. That's what size these are. You can get different sizes. There's a 1/4-20 nut, and when the bolt goes into it, it pulls the nut towards the back of the panel, and these wing parts expand out and pinch against the back of the panel. So you get a good shoulder on the outside, a good purchase on the inside. You can have a little bit sloppier hole and still have a great connection. Fantastic. Now comes the challenge of installing them. I thought it would just be lickety-split, but it wasn't. I thought this little soft rubbery washer thing on the outside would grab the metal on the outside, but it didn't. This is what happened.
At first, I thought I might just be able to turn them out by pushing up against the ceiling hard enough that little rubber part on the washer would grab on and it would just make itself turn back out, but that didn't work worth a hoot. That was a terrible thing. And I thought, well, I'll hold it still with a putty knife and get my nut driver on it. And of course, no matter how hard I pushed, that didn't work either. And then I got this idea. I just drill a little hole to create a notch in the side of the washer. Now watch. You see a little piece of plastic fell off? I've screwed this thing up totally now. It's falling apart. But I thought, well, we'll try that. So I got the notch, put the screwdriver into the notch, got the nut driver on the nut, and total failure. Didn't work at all. Oh, maybe I'll try it from the other side, just maybe that'll work better. And got up and leaned on it as hard as I could, pushed as hard as I could. Didn't work at all. It was a total failure. And I thought, well, here I got these vice grips, these odd vice grips. I can put those on, maybe grab the shoulder of the jack nut, then get my nut driver on the nut and try and make that work. And of course, that didn't work either. It was just driving me crazy. And then I figured, well, what if I could pull it out? So I took this perfectly good wrecking bar, and well, it wasn't quite wide enough for the nut, so I thought, well, I'll just file it all out, and I filed like crazy and created a notch that was big enough for the nut to slip into. And I figured, oh, this will do it. So I put the jack nut in, drove the bar onto it, and started to try to lever it out, but I wasn't getting enough purchase on the outside shoulder of the nut itself. It wasn't working at all. So then I thought, well, okay, then I'll go to the table saw and I'll create a piece of wood with a notch in it that I can maybe get better purchase. So by sliding the knot over top of the nut, or the wood over top of the nut, I can now pull on it. Now watch, it does pull out a little bit, but that didn't work either. Just about 3 hours in.
So I had to find a way to make this thing work. And a little research and a little bit of experimentation, I found if I just had something on the outside of the nut, as if it was installing itself, it would hold, it would work. So I'm on the scrounge here. I found a piece of metal with a hole in it that was big enough. The hole was the right size for the nut to go through. And I thought, well, if I can put my jack nut on the back side of that just might work. But my nut was too short, the metal was too thick, I couldn't reach it. So I had to scrounge around, and I found a 1/4-inch stove bolt that had a 20-inch thread on it, so 1/4 20, and that was big enough that I could now put my jack nut on the outside of it, and that's going to work fine. But I got to make up that difference somehow. So again, on the scrounge, I just went to my table saw, got a scrap piece of wood, and I took a piece of wood, the right length, put a hole in the middle of it, put a washer on the end just to protect the end of it, and then I put the nut through that just as a spacer. If I had exactly the right length of nut, I wouldn't need this. Put the metal on there, and then the jack nut on top of that. And watch how that works.
Now, if you have your drill going in the right direction, it makes it a little bit easier. And you need a little more leverage than just your fingers. So I got a wrench out and just improve the purchase on that little piece of metal. And listen. Hear that? Just tightening up. Now, with a little bit of practice, it takes about 7 seconds to put in a jack nut. Nothing to it. We are ready to rock.
Easy peasy, unbelievable. It takes about 20 seconds to put in a jack nut and get a really good mechanical finish. These are an excellent way to make a structural connection to your van.